This was Paul Mackenzie Ndenke, where his church, Good News International in Malindi, flourished few years back. He wasn't the shaggy, confused person gracing the screens today. He started his church back in 2003 as a small evangelical center alongside his wife Joyce Mwikamba, and they then moved to a village called Migigo in Malindi, where he set up a church in a walled compound where his family still lives to date. His wife Joyce helped in preaching as a co-pastor, and Mackenzie claimed to have power to speak to God directly. His sermons, he claimed to deliver word as given by God himself. It's around 2016, Mackenzie acquired a TV station after one of his followers, Kennedy Mwacharo, sold his property in Malindi as a throwaway price of 20 million and handed over all the money to him, abandoning his family and responsibilities. The property was valued over 100 million back then, and the man would die 2 months later in unclear circumstances. Several cases of people selling their properties and giving Mackenzie as they await to meet Jesus would then follow. The recent one being Betty, a hair hostess who quit a 11-year job and left her husband and sold a lifelong investment at a throwaway price of 7 million, heading with the money to Mackenzie's Shakahola church. Betty is suspected to be among the dead bodies being retrieved in graves in Shakahola, and it is claimed that Mackenzie used the money that Kennedy Mashora gave him to buy pieces of land in Malindi and Mombasa to vehicle and started the TV station. Through this TV station, Mackenzie reached out so many people, and his teachings were basically on end times, evilness of Western ways of life like medical service, education, food, sports, music, etc. Mackenzie dealt on uselessness of life and stressed on the afterlife. He preached about the second coming of Christ, which according to him was so soon. His timeline of the second coming was also less than a year, and he also focused on wrath that awaited those who would be alive by then. In 2018, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua through KFCP ordered for the immediate closure of the TV station, and this was a year after Mackenzie and his wife had been arraigned in court for religion radicalization, knowing and unlawfully promoting extreme belief system of the purpose of facilitating ideologies to advance religious and social changes. It is unclear how this case ended, and despite the order to shut down the TV station, Mackenzie continued with it, something that showed how connected he might have been. And remember, at a point, he threatened the then Kilifi women rep Aisha Juma when she questioned some of his teachings and when he kept sick people in the compound instead of taking them to the hospital. In 2019, Mackenzie would again hit headlines when 4 siblings from Mumias left home for his church and went missing. 3 of them would later resurface, and this plus the pressure put on him to close an unregistered school he operated in his compound promoted him to move from Migigo to Shakahola. He closed the church, sold some of his vehicles, then bought the Shakahola land in the name of starting a farming venture. People went to see him at where his previous church used to be in Migigo, were referred to his farm in Shakahola. And according to neighbors, a lot of people went there, but few left. Mackenzie had fasting supervisors who would monitor the poor souls in the bush as they starved to death. There are also the same people who work as undertakers for him. It is claimed that while leaving Migigo and closing his church, he sold the TV station equipments and one of his vehicles to Pastor Ezekiel of New Life, and even some of his evangelization tools. Not that Pastor Ezekiel is not living with his family in Shakahola. The family live in Migigo village in a gated compound where he had his church, and he has been putting up another beautiful family home few distance from Malindi town. So, someone by the name Junior Nyundo Samir posted this. People should know some background about Pastor Mackenzie. The guy closed his church and moved to Shakahola, and he sold his TV station to Pastor Ezekiel and some cars. They know each other very well. The guy bought 800 acres and started farming. In fact, he constructed a dam, which means the government was aware of everything happening there. His followers followed him to Shakahola, just like how people travel to Ezekiel at Mavueni. The difference between Mavueni kwa Ezekiel and Shakahola, in Mavueni kuna funeral home nearby, while Shakahola, a funeral home, is 100 kilometers away. People die every day at Ezekiel's church. He recently had a fight with the nearby funeral home, Milele, because they collect a lot of bodies at the church and he doesn't want them to share with the public. Our government is a member of that church, and I invite the media to visit the Kilifi County Hospital, the women's ward. Our mothers believe in taking the holy water from Ezekiel than the drugs which are being given in the hospital. This is another time bomb. As he brainwashed other people and their kids to die in order to meet Jesus, his family is living their best from what the fools give him as they prepare for the holy journey. Remember, most of these people are fasting in the bush, day and night, facing the harsh weather condition and other risky via Adede Awala. Guys, what's your take on everything that is ongoing? You can share your thoughts on the comment section down below and let us know.